Matilda, video 3. Just some other previous facts, now practical things before we start chapter 1. Keep in mind in the description down here I've posted a Quizlet list, right? That will help you internalize vocabulary. There are two ways you can use the Quizlet list. It's a list I've made specifically for the story we are reading together, right? First, you are reading the story by yourself and you want to remember those words. So you start reading the story and you have the Quizlet here. Probably most of the time, almost 99% of the time, the order of the list will be the order the words will appear in your text. Okay, so that will help you a lot. But of course you will be watching the videos. I'll be explaining the words in the videos, so I don't think you will need so much the list for that. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to, when you open the list, when you click the list, you will open it and there is an icon there that says aprender. Okay, so we're going to click there. The website will test you to see if you have internalized all of the words. Okay, alright, so let's start chapter 1, the reader of books. It's a funny thing about mothers and fathers. Even when their own child is the most disgusting little blister you could ever imagine, they still think that he or she is wonderful. Okay. Let me see, how will I organize it? Yes, I think I will read it, I'll give you some words, and then I'll give you questions as well, okay? So I believe for you blister is kind of different, right? So on our Quizlet there, I put a picture on of a blister, you know, on a woman's feet. So probably this woman has been wearing tight shoes, alright, a tight shoe, and because of the friction there was a little bubble, alright? Prefer not to say bubble, you know, where can you get bubble? Like, you know, like a soap bubble, you know, like the bubbles you blow through a straw, that's a bubble, okay? Or your personal bubble, alright? And that's okay. Bubble gum as well, the one you chew and then you make a bubble, right? That's okay. But if you've burned your arm or any part of your body, right? If you burn, or if there was a lot of friction and then there is a little, you know, that's what we call blister, okay? So a question for you, when was the last time you had a blister? Describe that. Mainly for people who are having the reposition. I know that some people will watch this video for reposition of class they missed. So during our classes, I have asked, you know, examples and etc. So if you're having the reposition, your job is to pause the video and then answer to what, okay? Answer in audio. I don't want you to type, okay? I want you to send me an audio answering before you continue the video, alright? If you're not having a reposition, for example, you're not my student, or you are my student but you're not in this group, or the group that is studying this story, or you are in the group but you have already done it, you don't need to send me an audio, but I would advise to pause and answer to yourself, so it would be a nice speaking exercise. Remember, the purpose here is not to go through pages, right? Otherwise I would just read and say, oh, blister is this, and then I would continue and then I would explain a word and very fast, and then we would finish the whole book in, I don't know, 3 hours. That's not the point. The point is internalize vocabulary and develop your speaking abilities, right? So even if you're not, you that are not having a reposition, you're not going to send me an audio, say it to yourself. It's nice. The more you can speak English with yourself, the better. Okay. It's a fact that students that have this habit. Let me change my sentence. Schizophrenic students are the best, you know? They have this habit of speaking to themselves, even, you know, discussing or even arguing sometimes, you know, asking and answering to practice the language. Those are the successful students, all right? So pause the video and speak to yourself. Okay, so tell me about the last time you had a blister and what happened, okay? Second question, how is it possible that a kid is a blister? For that, I'll give you the answer after you pause. Question, you pause, answer, and then I'll say answer after you've given me the answer, okay? Or you've given yourself the answer. So again, I just want you to get the dynamics. Question, how is it possible for a kid to be a blister? Now you pause, you answer to yourself, you resume the video, answer. We are talking here figuratively, of course. If you are a blister, you are something that annoys a lot, you know? You know when you have like a blister on the back of your foot and then you want to use shoe and that's very hard, it's very, very disturbing, right? So that's a kid, okay? Second question, third question. Question, why do you think parents, mothers and fathers, usually have that kind of opinion about their kids, even though they're a blister? I hope you have answered. I will not answer that one because it's a personal thing, okay? Last one. Can you think of parents that act like that? And can you tell me about it? You know, what do I mean? They have a kid, the kid is very annoying or stupid or, you know, whatever, and the parents think, you know, they have a genius at home. Can you think of that? Okay, so I hope you have answered all of those 4 questions. So I'll read again. Oh, I have to open another parenthesis. This is something we have to do when we are reading literature in Portuguese, English, any area. It has to be something personal. So we have to connect the things here to the things in my life. Okay? The more I connect the things here to the things in my life, the better I will understand this story. Okay? Because this story is based on reality, and I'm inserted in that same reality. So I can talk to this story, right? We both access the same reality. So, to simplify, I have to access in my life the experiences I can see on the book, right? It's a funny thing about mothers and fathers. Even when their own child is the most disgusting little blister you could ever imagine, they still think that he or she is wonderful. Next paragraph. Some parents go further. They become so blinded by adoration that they manage to convince themselves their child has qualities of a genius. This is how you pronounce it, okay? Genius. So they're so blinded. Remember, a blind person can't see, right? By adoration, that they get to convince themselves their children has qualities of a genius. Well, there is nothing very wrong with all this. It's the way of the world. It is only when the parents begin telling us about the brilliance of their own revolting offspring that we start shouting, "Bring us a basin. We are going to be sick." Okay, let's go by part, right? Words here. First words. Let me see. It's only when parents begin to... Okay, brilliance, when you are very, very smart, right? You are a genius, you have brilliance. Offspring is another way to say children. Okay? In our list, in our Quizlet list, I put a picture of a big horse and a baby horse. Okay? The baby is the offspring of the horse. Okay? Your offsprings will be your sons and daughters, right? I say sons and daughters because I do hope in the future you have not only one son or one daughter, but many sons and daughters, all right? So that's offspring. Basin is a washbowl. Let me see if I put in our list here a washbowl. Yes, I did. I put a very old washbowl. You know, but it's like a bowl, you know, like a bowl of salad, but it's a much bigger bowl you use to wash your face. People in the past used to wash their feet. You know, they wouldn't, I don't know, take a shower. Because imagine you live on a farm and then it's quite difficult to take a shower and, I don't know, or maybe you were a pig, right? So you would just wash your feet before you sleep, okay? So that's a wash basin. For us here, we could put the word bucket. You know bucket, the one you put water when you're cleaning the house, for example? Because bring us a bucket, we're going to be sick. Remember, be sick here is not, I'm going to have a cold, I'm going to have cancer. No. Be sick here, I'm going to throw up, you know? It's implied when you say in English, oh, I'm gonna be sick, you know? That if you don't specify what kind of sickness you're talking about, then you are going to throw up, okay? Before I reread this paragraph, why would we get sick? Why would we throw up? Pause and then answer. Second question, why do parents do that? Why do parents start talking to everybody about the brilliance of their kids, in your opinion? Pause the video and answer. Okay, let me reread the paragraph. Well, there is nothing very wrong with all this. It's the way of the world. That's okay. You are proud of your kid. You think your kid is excellent. It's okay. It's your kid, right? It's very normal for parents to think their kids are the most beautiful kids in the world, for example. Of course, they love the kids a lot. That's okay. It is only when the parents begin telling us about the brilliance of their own revolting offspring. You know, so and then the parent come, you know, a mom's saying, I have a person I know that is like that. Actually, it's an old student. She would always come to me, and her son was my student as well. And she would spend a lot of time telling me how important, how smart, how fantastically successful her son was. In that case, her son was pretty successful. The guy was good in sports, the guy was good in is good in sports, is good at school, and etc. But the point is, I don't want to know. I didn't ask. You know, I didn't come to her and say, look, can you tell me, you know, the qualities of your son? And then she would spend like hours talking about her genius son. I didn't ask for that. Why am I doing this, guys? And I want you to try to do that. What am I doing here? I'm trying to connect that experience with my real life experience. I had moments when parents came to me and they wanted to talk about how brilliant their kids are, right? And I just want to talk about, for example, the development of the kid in English. That's it. I want to give a feedback. Look, your son is very good in English. Thank you very much. So that's the kind of spirit this guy has here, right? So, it is only when the parents begin telling us about the brilliance of their own revolting offspring that we start shouting, shouting is like screaming, like, oh, please bring us a basin. I'm going to throw up. I'm going to be sick.